Hey y'all, I'm Todd Bailey.
What's up? It's Arie Lumberdozy.
And this is fucking Brewtal.
Get in the pit, stock up the fridge, and listen. We're here to cover the latest in metal news and craft beer. A match made in hell.
If it makes you bang your head, then we want to hear it. If it tickles your taste buds, share those suds.
Turn it up to 11.
Crack open that beer.
It's about to get brutal.
What's up, Hopwolves? It's your boys, Todd and Arie, coming at you with episode 92 of Brewtal Podcast. Inching towards 100, man. I can't fucking wait. And what a day to celebrate. It's Friday. We love this day. It's release day, so we have lots to talk about in that regards. But it is also Friday the 13th during October. Ooh. Which makes it extra spooky. And I mean, if you believe in superstitions,
you know what to do, Hopwolves. Like, you know all the things that you need to do to make Mama Jorge's proud.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Just, don't have sex at camp near pool.
Yeah.
Or body of water. It's a lake. Sorry, it's a lake.
There. Man, that should be the new twist on Friday the 13th. It's not a lake, it's a pool.
They're like, there's clearly a body in the water. Like, who is that?
Wait, no, you don't see it. We don't know who that is.
In the water, it's a surprise. Oh man. Dude, I think I need to watch that movie tonight whilst inebriated on a few things. So that might be happening. Yeah. I own all the films. I bought like the collection on iTunes when it was like super cheap. And I was like, well, instant purchase for me.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've revisited any of the Friday the 13th. So might have to do the same.
I mean, it starts off strong and then it gets a little loopy, but the formula pretty much takes over at that point.
Yeah, there's. I was just talking to a couple friends about just like slasher franchises and stuff. The one that continuously blows me away is Puppet Master. Yes. Because they've got like fucking 15 installments. I don't know how or when they had that many.
It wasn't until you brought it up to me that I was like, there's 15 of them.
Dude, it's so dumb. And that series, not one of my personal favorites, but I do want to watch like the other 14. I don't know. I feel like I've seen at least like the first 3, but I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole nother podcast there. We're getting sidetracked here. It is Friday the 13th. It's spooky season in full effect. Lake effect in effect. If you know, you fucking know. Tell me about the week before we get into, the meat and potatoes.
Week was good. I'm glad it's over. People were getting a little chippy at work. So I'm just like, salute to you. I am going to go drink. And that's what we're doing Saturday. There's an Oktoberfest event, which it shouldn't be actually happening in October if you want to be technical about it. But that's beyond the point. We're glad it's still happening. But it's going to be at Brewtorium, which I've been to before. It's actually a really great like beer hall kind of like setting, lots of seating, very accommodating. And they should have like some games to do while we're there. So I'm pretty pumped. That's happening. And then there's an eclipse happening tomorrow in Austin. It's going to be able to be seen in many states. So by the time you hear this, it's going to be over. But what's so funny is like, it's at like, I think it's supposed to be at its peak around maybe closer to 11 a.m. I'm going to sleep through that, man.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to watch the videos. Plus I don't even have the glasses to actually see it. So I don't want to burn my retinas. So
there's that. You need to make the, like the shoebox eclipse thing like that they do in the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts.
Beyond that, I'm cat sitting for my buddy Kelly. He's heading up to Boston for a wedding. Not his, but it's for friends. So him and his girlfriend are headed up there. I'm excited for him because you have been. Gave him some recommendations, including Sam Adams, some whale watching, a downtown market. But you also said to go up to Salem if you have the time, and I'm going to tell him that because you said it's like roughly an hour.
It's something like that. I can't exactly remember, but like if you have the means to go up there, it's not very far. And plus, it's like the coast is right there, so like driving up that way and stuff. Like it's pretty fucking cool. But yeah, what better time to go than October for Salem? Yeah. So,
do they do like a lot of like pumpkins everywhere?
I haven't been. I've been to Salem in October, but I haven't been to Boston in October, so I don't know like what that looks like. But maybe that would be cool.
Yeah,
be really cool.
But anyway, that's going to be for the weekend. Kind of bleeds into the week a little bit, but I'm excited for them. I hope he brings me back some Sam Adams. I might tell him that. I'm like, hey, you don't have to pay me in money. You could pay me in beer that you bring back.
I mean, that's the one now. Like, that's the OG one. They'll probably tell him on the tour, but they do this cool thing where, like, you can take a shuttle from the brewery to the bar where Sam was first on draft.
Oh.
And if they still do it, there's a beer called Brick Red, which is a red ale, if I remember correctly. But I've seen it elsewhere since then. Like, I'm talking, this is probably like 10 years since I've been there. But it was really cool because they're like, this is like an exclusive for the bar is like a thank you for being the first one to do our shit. So there's a lot of cool things. But I guess also what I'm getting at is like that brewery, the OG brewery is where they do like all their experimental beers because they outsource. They've got like a bunch of other plants that do like Boston Lager and like all their mainstays. But
that's still my favorite. That and the cherry. Oh.
The cherry, good times with that bad boy.
Karaoke, dude. That brings me back.
Whew, it's been a minute since I've had anything from Sam Adams, but even though they're a huge brewery, I mean, they've been big for a while. Like, it's still quality shit. So, yeah, get yourself some Sam's and hopefully some experimental stuff. That'd be fucking sick.
I'm gonna tell him about that. I'll have to have you text me that later, because I think that'll entice him more. He does like red ale, so I think that's right up his alley.
Yeah, it was a good time, and my only word of caution is like I love like New England clam chowder, but it fucked me up, dude. I had like a Brick Red and like clam chowder in a bread bowl, and it was way too fucking much. It was delicious, but like, be leery is all I can say.
I will make a mention of that too. Yeah, it's like steer clear, don't get sick.
Yeah, for real. That's an actual thing. It's delicious, but goddamn.
Enough about me though, because we have to talk about this. You're wearing the hoodie, so talk about it. Yes, Erie Horror Fest, and Erie spelled with 2 E's. Because come on now,
it was cool, dude. So last weekend was the Erie Horror Fest, and we have many fond memories of the fest together. They brought it back recently. I know I've talked about this on the show before. I think this is either the second or third year that they've come like back with it because it was gone for a while. But yeah, back in our hometown of Erie. My film Erie Times, also spelled with 2 E's, was there. I was very stoked to be a part of that fest. It has a very special place in my heart. And it was really cool to be back at the Warner, which is one of my favorite venues. It's such a gorgeous, gorgeous place. And to see like my shit up on the screen, like that's the best it's looked since I've seen it. So that was really cool. And then being there with Skylar, she had never been in there before. So that was really, really sick that she could experience it. Like, you know, getting to go backstage and giving like a little presentation. That was really cool. And then shout out Kevin Burfield, our best friend, Hopwolves designer. He had a table there, so he was able to hang out with us. Well, we were able to hang out with him, really. So that was sick. And then shout out to Ben, Brandon, my mom, a couple other friends and family I know I'm blanking on, but just having them be there and getting to see them. Julia, our friend Julia, for letting us stay there. Anyway, it was a really good time. Yeah, that was it was just nice to be in that in the element, I guess. I don't know. Now I'm just rambling.
Did you visit anywhere outside, like some old dives that you used to go to on State Street or anything like that?
Not on State Street, but we went to Lavery's one day.
Nice.
Love Lavery's. They've really elevated their shit, dude. Like they expanded
Oh, cool.
down the brew pub. Like there used to be, for most of the Hopwolves that are not familiar with this brewery, Lavery's has been like a namesake for Erie for quite some time now. And they had like a really like small hole in the wall brewery, and they've been expanding it over the years. And now it's basically that whole bottom half of the building is Lavery's. And it looks beautiful in there.
That's awesome for them. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and they have like their beers just keep getting better and better. I had a cold Dulicon. So Dulicon is their staple IPA, and this one they brewed it like with lager yeast. So like it's really crisp, it's really refreshing, but it still has the Dulicon flavor. I loved it, dude. It was awesome, and they had a really good raspberry sour, a smoothie sour. So that was really cool. And we also went to Lucky Louie's, which is another one of our favorites. Again, anyone unfamiliar, it's a bottle shop, but they do these crazy hot dogs. Smith's hot dogs. Shout out to Smith's.
Dude, some of the best, honestly. I still promote them. I'll die on that hill.
Absolutely, dude. So if you're in Erie for whatever reason, go to the Horror Fest next year. Go to Lucky Louie's. Go to Lavery's. Some of my favorite places in town. So yeah, that was cool. It was cool to hang out, see my family, see some friends, be with Skylar. It's been a while since we've actually like been like in Erie for more than like a few hours, really. So yeah, that was really sick. So thank you again to everyone involved with the Horror Fest, and for anyone that's watched Eerie Times now or in the future, much appreciated. Yeah, that was a big one. The other big one, which I won't get into like too much, we fucking finally have an apartment. I cannot fucking wait.
Get those air horns ready.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be sick. So that's really great, and we've had a lot of support from Todd and a lot of friends and family for my dog Luna. She's going to be having surgery to get rid of some problematic masses that have been popping up. So that has been scheduled. Thank you to anyone and everyone that reached out to talk to us about it. We were like in a weird financial bind because of the apartment, and this was something we kind of knew that we needed to do, just not like as quickly. So scary, but very happy that she'll be taken care of in a couple weeks. So lots been going on. That's really the gist of of what's up. But I have rambled on for far too long. Enough about me. Let's get in to the beer. What's your beer? I don't know. Since we're talking about Boston, I feel like I should have donned an accent. I'm gonna stop.
Dude, I want to do one too, but I can't do it that well. But I did tell Kelly before he went, he needs to watch The Town before he goes. Which I think is great advice. Like, to get the accent down, you gotta, come on. You think you're better than me?
Yeah. One of my fondest memories of you is coming off of your birthday, head in the trash can, Kevin and I leaving. We're like, all right, buddy, we're gonna be heading out. You're just like, fuck you, like Jeremy Renner from The Town.
Fuck you.
So yeah, solid advice, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. Let's do this damn thing. Yeah. My beer today, I love it. It is called Damn It Feels Good to Be a Ginger from Lone Pint Brewery. They're from Magnolia, Texas, which is just outside of Houston. It is a Texas style ginger ale. And look at this artwork, dude.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Got a fucking it looks like humans, but the heads are a ginger root on the one and then a lime wedge on the other, and they're riding this low rider. And there's colors of like orange, green. It kind of goes with the flavors that I'm about to experience. But the Damn It Feels Good to Be a Ginger has some cool lettering. Really fun with that. And It is coming in at 5.1 ABV. I thought it was going to be way lower, so I'm actually pretty happy about that number. Zero IUB, as you might imagine it being a Texas style ginger ale, and it's a malt beverage with natural flavors. I got to add that too. What's cool though is that the name of the beer alludes to the Ghetto Boys classic, Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster, which you might have heard if you've seen the 1999 classic Office Space, which is a cult classic. It did terrible in theaters, but it found a following, and they used so much rap music in that movie, and that's a standout track. So I have to believe that's what they're referencing. But anyway, here is it in a glass. It is very see-through. It almost looks like watered down beer.
It does.
It had no head, which I'm okay. Going into it, I was like, okay, I have to lower some expectations. But let's get it off the nose first. I want to smell this thing. Pretty tame on the smell so far. So we'll see. I'm picking up a little bit more of the citrus, the lime. And it smells good though. So I'm hoping it tastes just how it smells. So let's go. It's still getting the little bubbles right now. Oh, that's dangerous.
Hell yeah, dude.
At 5.1, dude, that's dangerous. That's good though, dude. This is like some juice, man.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Yeah, I actually really like this. I like ginger. Ginger just, it's got that positive mental placebo effect, because usually you're having like ginger ale if you feel bad, and that's making you feel better.
Right.
So it's kind of got that going on. I have a fly who wants in here. I get it, man. I'm going to take one more sip because I'm selfish.
Oh no, however will you get past this delicious beverage?
Well, I got to drink it slow too, because I want to do this all the way to our feature, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, but
good luck.
Good luck, I know. Yeah, I'm going to recommend this for sure. I like that it's something you don't normally find at a brewery. I think they did the flavors well. The ginger's there, again, with that citrus from the lime, and it's an amazing pairing. I mean, those two go together with a lot of food as well. Yeah, I'm about this, man. I'm in for a ride. Let's go. Friday the 13th. Cheers, bro. I can't wait for you to talk about yours. Buddy. Yours is fitting for the day. So talk about what you got.
Yes. Well, I do want to point out before we turn it to mine that what I really like about yours is ever since seltzers became a thing, like for a hot minute, it was all like hard sodas, like your root beer, your ginger ale, your cola, your orange sodas, and they were great, but they just kind of fell by the wayside because the seltzers were giving you basically the same thing, but with like less calories, less sugar. Totally get it, because I love seltzers, but I also loved the fucking like the hard root beer and shit like that. So that's really cool, and those make fantastic mixers if you want like a little bit more of a kick for like a Moscow Mule or something like that, dude.
That would be perfect for that. That's a good idea.
There's one beer called Krabby's that I would sell all the time, like almost specifically for making Moscow Mules, like with more bite to it.
Okay.
So something to think about.
Adding some pro tips here.
Yeah. You gotta get the best bang for your buck. That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
But yeah, I am keeping the spooky train rolling, as no one is surprised at this point, but it actually is very fitting. I got Spooky Tooth from Fatheads today, which is another one of my favorites or another seasonal favorite of mine. But for everyone watching, you can see it looks pretty dope. But for everyone listening, Fatheads is from Middleburg, Ohio, so like the Cleveland area, basically Cleveland. But I didn't know this until looking on the website. There was a Fathead Saloon And
Oh,
it's in Pittsburgh, which we've walked by. It's on East Carson Street,
do
but
we have? Yeah.
I didn't really like that's where it kind of like started. Actually, I don't know if that's
Yeah.
the original. They're from here originally, but the brewery is like based in Cleveland. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, it was a little confusing, but it's it is an Ohio beer, but they started here in PA, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, they're pretty fucking close. But Spooky Tooth has the fat head. I don't know if that's just his name, but I'll refer to him as the Count. So the Count is donned at the bottom. That's how pretty much all their cans look. They always have the fat head logo on there, looking a little pale there, a little peaked. But you've got like a house, which I'm presuming to be haunted in the background.
That's what one would assume.
Yeah, this one would assume with a full moon and bat friends that are flying around, probably trying to get the spooky tooth, the juice itself. Of course, it's orange. It's got like some like more muted orange to it, yellows, your dark blues, stuff like that. And then you won't be able to see it too much, really. But like their logo is like chill out, man, have a beer. But there's a like a silhouette of a spider web
Oh
on
yeah.
on
Yeah,
the
it
back
comes
there.
through.
Yeah, and the topography, if you will, is distressed. So it all makes sense there. But it's a really cool can, and I really like Fatheads. They've been doing good shit for a long time, especially like their seasonals. They have a really good winter one called Pimp My Sleigh, which is a Belgian Tripel that I really like too. But that's neither here nor there. Spooky Tooth is 9%. So it's a bad boy for sure. It's an Imperial Pumpkin Ale, and per the website, they say that it is a rich amber color with aroma of sweet pumpkin pie and savory spices. Damn, I can't wait till my glass is back for this. Creamy mouthful with flavors of pumpkin, followed by sweet malt, pie crust, hints of brown sugar, and a clean finish. It also says on the can the pumpkin brew with bite. So I haven't had this one in a hot minute. I haven't had one this year at all. But I remember liking it for how much it's balanced. So it smells great. It smells like a pumpkin pie. Love it. Cheers, Hopwolves. Happy Friday the 13th.
It's a great alternative to PSL. So let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Everything is there. It's got that, yeah, the creamy mouthful, nice finish. It's one of the most balanced of the pumpkins because sometimes they're too spice heavy or there's not enough flavor in there, but you're getting the brown sugar, you're getting the pumpkin, all the stuff, like basically everything that they said on the website. Like I'm just really echoing because they really nailed it. It's great. And another thing I really like about this one, which I know I've brought up in the past, is pumpkin ales tend to leave my mouth like super dry. And I don't really get that too much with this one. And it's 9%. So like having the high ABV with the flavor being so balanced like that is no small feat. So unless you have small feet, then I'm sorry. But this one I was going to recommend anyway. Like I said, it's one of my favorites and been trying to like I want to branch out, no doubt. But I also want to have like the ones I know I really like. And I don't think we've had many fat heads here on the show. Occasionally.
Yeah, I can't even think of the other one you might have featured. It's been a while. Yeah.
It's been a while. So yeah, Fatheads, Spooky Tooth, recommendation from your boy here. What's not spooky is how sick this fucking festival is. It is kind of spooky though. They have that aesthetic. It's like the new goth aesthetic.
I was going to say it's kind of frightening in a way because of how many bands are involved with this tour. Let's talk about it. It is called Sick New World, and they just announced the lineup. And this is happening in Vegas. And it's kind of new metal as fuck once we get into this. It's happening April 27th. That's Saturday in 2024 at the Las Vegas Fairgrounds. How can you not be excited? We got headliners like Slipknot, System of a Down, Lamb of God mixing with Bad Omens, Knocked Loose. That's another worth mentioning. Bring Me the Horizon's also going to be there. We're not even scratching the surface here. Like we've also got Vane, Freshwater, Loathe, If any of those bands are piquing your interest, there's more than that. Like, I'm going to do like a very loose count here, but let's go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 times that 40, 60, 80. It's there's a lot of bands.
Yeah.
I have to assume, do you think they're going to do that all in one day? Probably different stages, right? Right?
There is a few things that I'm leery about. And the only reason I say that is with the recent debacle that was Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
With how many, like how stacked that lineup was. And then hearing after the fact, like how much of a disaster it was, like weather aside.
It fell flat.
But yeah, and you have other things like there was not in the same vein, but we love it. When we were young festival, like all those like throwback emo bands and stuff, and that was like it eventually got there.
Yeah,
but like
weather was definitely a factor with that one.
Yeah, so I guess I'm leery in that sense. Like the lineup looks sick, and yes, it's all one day, so there's gonna be multiple stages. I would imagine. I don't know how else you would do that.
That means hard decisions, y'all, that you're going to have to make. Look at the tour poster. Maybe we can post a link to the website to check it out in the notes. But you're going to really have to, once they figure out who's on what stage, you're really going to have to plan out your day. Like I'm talking like old school days of Warped Tour, figuring out who you wanted to see. So there's going to be, some hard decisions to make. But we wanted to ask ourselves, though, to take a look at this whole lineup and be like, who is your top 3 bands that you'd love to catch at this festival? So, Arie, I'm going to ask you first. Who did you pick? There's a special one on your list that I think might surprise people that why is this guy here?
I was asking that same question. I try to pick it in like sense of like nostalgia, bands that I've been into for a little while, and then like newer bands that I've been into.
Nice.
So the first one Todd is alluding to is Danny Elfman.
Yes.
And if you're not familiar with Danny Elfman, he's a composer for pretty much every Tim Burton film under the sun. He's done other stuff, but like that's what he's best known for. But he's been going on tour, and I think that's fucking sick. And I would love to see Danny Elfman. The dude's like 70 something, and I love. Actually, real quick to throw it back to the Erie Horror Fest. We didn't see this, but one of the big draws that they had was Goblin playing there. And if anyone's unfamiliar with Goblin, they are an Italian like prog rock band, but they do a lot of scoring too. And like Suspiria is like the biggest one that I can think of off the top of my head. So they're on tour playing like the stuff that they scored. And I love when people do that. So that's what Danny Elfman's doing. Bizarre, but that's Danny Elfman. Like he's super bizarre, and I love that. So that's up there for me. I've been wanting to see Vane FM for a hot minute now, and Zulu. I really want to see Zulu. Yeah. So those were the ones that stood out to me the most, and amongst a sea of other super sick bands. Like what about yourself? What were the ones that stood out to you?
So I kind of went a different route because I chose people that I've just been wanting to see. And if I'm presented a lineup like this, like I'm going to go to those. So I'm starting off with Bad Omens, which I know is a controversial pick nowadays because that crowd is probably going to be very young. And that's probably the only band that they're there for. That and probably... what's their face? Sleep Token, which that better be the same stage. If you had to make people choose between Bad Omens and Sleep Token, you're gonna have a fucking riot. That's all I'm gonna say.
Vegas, there are no rules, dude.
That's true. Beyond Bad Omens, I picked Knocked Loose. Always want to see them, and Knocked Loose motherfucker. That's my only reasoning I need.
Yep.
Last but not least, Loathe. I want to experience those songs in person. So I chose them. I'm going to kind of go left field. If there were other ones I had to choose, probably Lorna Shore.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritbox would be cool.
Yes.
I'm going to name off some of the new metal stuff too. Like we've got System of a Down, like we said, Slipknot, Seven Dust is going to be there, which is dope. Code Orange is mentionable. Yeah. That's awesome. There's even some hardcore bands there too. Tsunami is going to be there. I love that for them. But going back to the new metal Taproot, Nonpoint, Powerman 5000, Let's Go, Static X is also going to be there. That's awesome. Fear Factory is going to be there too. I was surprised they were low on the list. Felt like that was a little bit of a snub for Fear Factory, but that's just me.
I oftentimes like I don't know how like it goes about like how you put the load. I mean, obviously the headliners are always going to be up top.
True.
But yeah, I thought that was funny too because it was right next. It's like Fear Factory, like Wednesday 13, which I forgot about. And then like on the other side, like Static X is super low. Skindred is low. Combi Christ. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of really sick bands to check out. Would love to attend this, no doubt. Another band of note, which we're gonna use to segue into our next section, Better Lovers is on there. I want to see Better Lovers. I'm fucking pissed that I didn't get a ticket to go to their, oh my god, I'm blanking on the name of their Christmas festival, but it's basically like a slight to the season.
Yes.
Which I love. I kind of love that. But the lineup for that was fucking sick. Like I know It Dies Today is going to be playing there, which is fucking sick. But anyway, it sold out. And then they added another day and that sold out like super fast.
Shocker. Yep.
Yeah, shocker. I'm not even going to act like I tried to get a ticket. Like I'm mad I didn't get a ticket, but I was like, I don't know if I can swing this. Anyway,
yeah.
Better Lovers is at Sick New World. But while we're bringing that up is Every Time I Die vocalist Keith Buckley, we haven't heard from in a hot minute. Better Lovers is like 3/4 or 3/5 of ETID.
Yes.
Give or take. We have many eyes on what Keith Buckley has been trying to do in the background. So it would only be appropriate that his new band is called Many Eyes. You got it.
Get the side-eye emoji ready.
They debuted a new track today, which we didn't put it in our CBB just because like it's not like it's still a great track, but in comparison, there's a very like melodic chorus to it, and we just can't have that most of the time. But it's great. Was it Relevance? Is that the
Revelation?
Name of the Revelation. Yes, thank you.
Which is relevant to this conversation.
It is. It is. So it is Keith Buckley, but as far as musicianship goes, I just am blanking on every fucking thing today. It's two brothers that previously played for Crowbar, because Jamie Josta of Hatebreed was the one that like linked up Keith with the brothers, and now they're doing this project. And he's also like one of the producers for the Many Eyes album that's coming out next year. And so there's a lot of really cool like tie-ins to how this band came to be. So they have a track. They're going on tour early next year, 2024, because we're at that time, to support Thursday's 20th anniversary of War All the Time, classic album. Nice. And then Rival Schools is going to be on the docket too. So really fucking cool tour that's going on. Me rambling aside, what are your thoughts on the track? I personally, I really like it. It's not as heavy as I would have liked. Like when Better Lovers came out with 13 Under 30, that was a kick to the face for sure. And this is still a great track. It didn't have the same effects as that one though. So I'm curious, what did you think about it?
So I think I missed his voice so much that I like absolutely loved it. I thought it was heavier than I was expecting.
That's true.
It was heavier than I was expecting. I'm okay with the chorus because we got a little bit of that near the tail end of ETID's discography. So that wasn't new.
No.
Do I think it's the strongest chorus? Not really, but I honestly love. I love what they're doing with it. I saw some people comment like it's mid ETID. It's like a B-side of ETID. Yeah, maybe you could say that, but like I love that it sounds like ETID. I didn't want him to go too far into weird territory musically. He's back. He's one of the best lyricists in my opinion, and it sounds like he never skipped a beat. So thumbs up for me. Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I'm tuning out any of the negativity about it from people. The PRP, the comments were very harsh against it. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but now I was like, I'm all for this. Like, if this is what is set to come from the album, I think it's going to be all bangers.
Yeah, dude, I completely agree. I think that this is a great first look and listen to what has been going on in the camp. And I know a lot of it kind of comes with like some jadedness too, because Keith is like essentially the reason that Eated is no more.
I do wonder what his lyrics are about. I don't know if they're pointed at anyone, but if you kind of read into them, you kind of wonder who he's talking about. But I'm not gonna speculate too much. But it makes me wonder.
I think that's fair, because if you listen to the lyrics on Better Lovers, same thing.
Yeah.
So what would be fucking sick is a Better Lovers Many Eyes tour.
They should make it happen. Just make up, you guys.
It's not going to happen for a while. I could see it happening though. So but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
And they just debuted the track. It is a banger. It does sound like Eated, which is great. And even when like Keith was doing like the damn things that like the supergroup, like it was still kind of in the same, like that Southern groove hardcore.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
That's his bread and butter. And I mean, it is like Jordan's too for Better Lovers. Their brothers makes fucking sense. But I think this is great. Like I miss Eated a lot, as do most people. But these are two really fucking sick bands that we got from them, and they pretty much sound like Eated. So like,
yeah, I think the fans are winning regardless. We love to see it. Keep an eye out for Many Eyes. Puns aside, let's get into the albums that dropped on Friday the 13th. They are spooktacular. I can't wait to hear what we got.
Yes, another heater of a week for albums and the CBB. As we said, benefiting fans of Eated. Like, well, that's it. We're all benefiting here from good ass fucking shit, even though we're in really fucking weird times, man. But we won't get into that.
Yeah.
A lot of sad stuff this week, but no sadness here on Brewtal. This is contradicting to what I just said. We're starting off with a Morning Star, and that's MOURNING, with a Reminder of the Wound Unhealed EP. So this is a reminder of a lot of bad things that are happening, but we're going to move past that. I'm sure that's going to be a banger. Otherwise, it wouldn't be on this list. Then we have All Gemma. Hope that's how you say it, but it's all caps, all one word. And Find the Way Out is the name of that.
Of the sadness.
Of the sadness, yeah. we're trying to move past the sadness here as best we can. Then we have Aberrance of Wrath with Inferno. That's fucking sick. That sounds like I'm about to go into like a Dante's Inferno, like the game. I don't know if you ever played the game, but that game is sick.
Oh, it was so good.
So good. Then we have Body Void with Atrocity Machine. Hell yeah. December Noir with Your Sunset, My Sunrise. Very romantic. That sounds right. Like that's very fitting.
It's a romantic album.
It's from, yeah. Okay. Then we have Detachment with Lack. Exhuminator with Deep South Violence. Fuck yeah. Gods of Gaia. As Daylight Dies. Controversial. Is it a whole cover album of Killswitch?
I hope.
I hope. It's a great Killswitch album to cover if you're going to do that.
This is my curse, so.
And Absolution. That's going to be sick. Excited for that one. Next, we have Keurig with Ruiner. Malformed with The Gathering of Souls. That's an EP. Morse Sabita with Origin of Fire. Nail Wound with an Ode to Misery. On Thorns I Lay with their self-titled. That's gotta hurt. And then they should go on tour with Acidly Dying, but that's... Oh man, these puns are getting terrible today. Then next up we have Slaughter Swamp with Human Debris, and that's an EP. State of Deceit with Stalked by Daemons, Daemons. Then we have Suicide Puppets, nice, with Beyond the Veil EP, the Voynich Code with Insomnia, Torn Soul with Death / Rebirth. That's an EP. The slashes are necessary, especially for Friday the 13th.
Exactly.
So I'm guessing that's why they did that. And that's why we do it. Then to round it out, the last two, we have Under the Scythe with Realms of the Void EP, and then Victims with Volume 5, the Hurt Collection. So I'm just going to say that I know that both of our favorites we actually didn't put on the list just because it's not Brewtal, but we both love the band.
Yeah.
Beartooth with The Surface. I'm never going to not like anything Caleb does.
Yeah.
And he just like gets it, man. Like riffs for fucking days. It does still get pretty fucking heavy.
Yeah. If there's one track for the people that want heavy, if there's one to listen to the first track, The Surface. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. There is a chorus in there. Wade through that till the end, and you'll get Caleb doing some gutturals. So that's all I can say.
It's good. I mean, take Beartooth for what you will. Like, there's a reason why we didn't include it in the list, but we both love that band. And I was talking to Todd just yesterday, be like, well, I haven't been like super stoked just based on like I forgot that it was coming out today.
Mm-hmm.
And like that never happens. But like the singles just make sense in the order that they are on the album, and then the rest of the tracks are super good. So I know both of our pick, but the other ones that really stood out, I've only listened to Victims of the Voynich Code, but those were the two that I was really excited for, and they both fuck hard.
Yes, they do.
But out of the ones that I haven't listened to, Torn Soul, been really loving what that band has been doing. And then Slaughter Swamp, I'm also excited for. I saw Devin Swank from Sanguine Sugarbot did some guest vocals on that, and that's how I found out about this. So if it's got Devin's approval, it's got my approval. But what about yourself, sir? What else was doing it for you?
So I'm right there with you with Victims and the Voynich Code. Listen to both of those. Love it. Torn Soul, I'm also excited about. I'm going to mention some other ones. Body Void is a strange album, but it is fucking heavy. It's like, there's a lot going on with that one, but nice. You should check it out. Detachment is actually pretty cool. They are, I don't know how to describe them. They're going into a little more post-hardcore territory, but it's just as heavy. Exhuminator is fun. Go check that out. Deep South Violence.
Fuck yeah.
Malformed is some good death metal if you want some death metal. I can't wait to hear On Thorns I Lay. I heard a couple singles from them and I did dig them, so I can't wait to check that out. Yeah, just check the whole list out, y'all. Like, come on. That's why we're putting it together. There's other albums out there, but we only picked 20, so
take it for what you will.
Exactly. But we also picked 20 tracks, so let's get into that. We're talking about our certified Brewtal bangers playlist, y'all. This is on Spotify. Go check it out. We do this every week. It's a fresh new 20 tracks. So at the end of every week, trying to blow off some steam. Maybe you're on a road trip. You need some music to play while you're looking at fields of cows. This is perfect for you. At number one, we are starting off with Tracheotomy with their song Sadistic Advent. These guys can do no wrong, in my opinion. That's why it is number one. Next up, at number two, we have OSIAH, who just announced their new album that is coming out soon. I love the artwork on that. I need to find out who the artist is.
That's good.
But they just released their single, A Great Nothing. This is actually my favorite track of the new stuff so far.
Mm-hmm.
Their sound is evolving, and they said so themselves. Like, they think this is them at their best. So I can't wait for the whole thing. Next up, we have Enterprise Earth, and this is featuring, if you had to guess, who would you say? Ben Dur of Shadow Intent. He seems to be cashing in some checks on some guest vocals for a lot of bands. He is on their track King of Ruination. And Arie, you said this is probably the most Meshuggah thing you've heard all year.
Maybe ever that wasn't like Meshuggah, dude. Like as soon as that first riff hits,
yeah,
be like, and that's not a slight. And that's one thing that I love about Gabe and how he like just arranges and writes his riffs. Like you can hear the influences, but it still sounds like Enterprise Earth.
Mhm.
There's so many times I'm like, dude, this would have been good. Like on The Chosen, there's a couple, or there's at least one track I'm like this could have been on like Within the Ruins, like, but it sounds like Enterprise Earth. And this one is like, this is Meshuggah, and it could be on a Meshuggah album, which is to me, I think is one of the highest compliments because Meshuggah is like God tier.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely.
so yeah, I really love. I'll just go ahead and say that was my favorite of the week. And now that I'm thinking about it, we were riffing on Ben, just like not getting any new Shadow of Intent out, just doing features. But I'm pretty sure he just had a kid, so
Yeah.
that's our, like the intent is there, and it's a good
At
intent.
least the shadow of it.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Seagrave, which on their Spotify it's in all caps, so I put it in all caps. It's a good band name.
Yeah, it is.
Simple to the point. They just came out with Edge of the Woods. Actually, haven't listened to this yet, but I'm going to give myself a treat and listen to it later because I know it's fucking good. At number 4. Number 5, we were talking about Denihilist, and that band might be coming up here in a little bit because we have a special feature coming up. They just released a song called Ill Will. It is a fucking banger. Yeah, we're gonna deep dive that one. Next up, we have the Dialectic with Murder Machine. I love the single title. I haven't listened to that yet, but with a title like that, I know what to expect.
Good.
After that, we have We Are Perspectives with their track Godless. I've actually never listened to this band before, but I can't wait. If that gives you any perspective.
Nice.
Next up, this ginger ale, man. Next up is probably the weirdest name for a band, and I still am trying to figure it out. It's called Stircore. I don't know if it alludes that it's a kind of core that we should be on the eyes out for, because there actually I looked this up. There used to be a band called Deathcore, because I saw a thread about how Deathcore, I don't forget what year, but hopefully that's factual. I don't know, anything from Reddit, you never know.
That's true. Take it for a grain of salt.
Besides the point, Stircore just came out with a song called Resigned. Go check them out. It's 2 thumbs up from me. After them, we have Cruciamentum. That's an interesting band name. I'll have to look up what that means. It's probably some Latin combined. Mm-hmm. They just came out with Scorn Manifestation. Great single track. Can't wait to check that out. Haven't checked that out yet. As far as I think most of this list I have actually not checked out. That's okay, though. We listened to a little bit, and they were heavy when we scrubbed them, so they deserve to be on this list. At number 10, we have Fuming Mouth with I'll Find You, which...
fucking find you.
I'll fucking find you. It's like, oh shit.
Oh, there, I'm fuming.
Out of my mouth. At number 11, we have End with their song Thaw. And it's featuring Debbie Go of Harriet, which is fucking awesome. Great get. After that, we have Mugshot, who continues to release banger after banger for their upcoming album. They just released Cold Will, which is not to be confused with Denihilist's Ill Will. It's a whole different thing. We should have put those back to back.
Yeah, we should have.
Anyway, this is featuring Josh Mata of Skin Ticket. If you have not heard that band before, go check out Skin Ticket, man. Of note, Mugshot is Brewtal alumni, so we like to give a shout out to them. Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Shot from the mug. Let's go. After that, You're the Knife, dude. They released another track called Your Control. Fuck yeah, dude. Just straight bangers from that group. And we wish all the well to Maddie and the gang. Here's to a even swifter recovery.
Yes. Very excited about that album.
Oh, yeah. Next up, we have Mouth Breather with Imaginary Skin. I love what they're putting out. They have some cool cover art for that, too. It's like a bunch of ghosts kind of like repeated. Yeah. And it's kind of like the ghost is bleeding. And it's pretty sick cover art. Next up, we have Blight, and they're out of Houston, Texas. So it's Blight HTX with their song Salvation. I believe they might have dropped an EP or an album already this year. So it's kind of cool that they're coming out with new music beyond that. Next up, we have Tala with Hard Knock. Dude, I love Tala's crazy, but crazy in a good way. And I just love what they're doing with new metal. So thumbs up from us. Next up, we have Tariot with their song Obsidian. That's a band to keep an eye out for. Then we have Crystal Lake with a new one, Dystopia. I love it. I still kind of wish they went a little heavier, knowing who they got for their vocalist, but they're metalcore kings in my opinion, so I approve.
Yes.
Next up, we have Continent with Hurricane. I love the cover art. It's a cute little ghost cartoon. So, but it's heavy, so don't be fooled. And last but not least, we are going to open the cellar door and let Spiritbox walk through with their single Cellar Door. Heavy. That's why it's on this list, y'all. It is fucking heavy. Don't you forget that Spiritbox knows how to do heavy. All you new fans. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said your favorite. Mine is actually Denihilist. I'm doing some fan service for them because we do have them as a feature. I'm just going to reveal it now.
We do.
But I was digging it, and that's why we reached out, because I was like, fuck yeah. They sort of remind me a little bit of Amir, and we'll get into that a little bit here. But I was all in, and then there's a cool part of the song at the end that just sold me. OSIAH was up there for me for sure. I'm very excited for their album because of the latest track, A Great Nothing. Tracheotomy, Spiritbox just made me fall in love with them all over again. Mugshot stood out to me. I really like that track. And then Enterprise Earth. Yeah, I have to go. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Beyond Enterprise, though, what about you? What else kind of stood out to you?
Every band that you mentioned was on my list too. So
see, a lot of really
sync.wave, baby. Hell yeah. I guess out of the ones that we didn't mention, I do like. I know Spiritbox. Like we have like criteria for how this list flows, and like Spiritbox at this point is a bigger band. So like including it most of the time is like, well, I mean, they don't need the exposure for anything. But that track is the heaviest track they've had since Holy Roller. And that's fucking sick. I was waiting the entire time for like to hear Courtney's sweet cleans, and they didn't happen. And I was so happy about that.
Fucking bomb of brutality. And yeah, it's a great way to end this playlist. Like, listen to it all the way through. Say you're going to work out, like get through that run. And then once you start pumping some iron, boom, you get hit by Spiritbox.
Yeah, dude, there's that one really, like, I was pleasantly surprised, but also, like I said, I'm really excited for the Year of the Knife album to come out, which is very soon. It's like 2 weeks as of recording. The end track with Debbie from Harriet is the weirdest track that they've had since, but it still fucks hard. And I remember reading something from Will Putney just to be like, this is the weirdest track. And like, but this is us as like artists just doing what we need to do and what we want to do. And that's a really cool feature. Harriet's an amazing band from the UK. End is end. You know it's good anyway.
You're fucking on, bro.
It's your fucking on. Yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, that's really it. I'm excited for the Tariot track. I have to listen to Crystal Lake a little bit more intently. Yeah, I mean it's all great. It's all great. That's why we painstakingly tried to do
this. It's hard to choose our favorites because they're really all our favorites.
They are. It's like trying to choose a kid. You can't do it. But as two people that don't have kids, we don't have to make that choice. That's why we have many hours to devote to this and what we love doing, talking about beer, talk about metal, and just trying to lift up some of our favorite artists, which Todd already revealed, who we're talking about today. We're talking about Denihilist, dude. Great fucking band. There's no denying that this band is sick.
Nice.
I had to get that in at least one time. I'm done. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, it will drop today, and we're very fucking fortunate to be able to feature that track on release day. That very rarely happens. And fuck, dude, awesome. Just fucking heavy, dude. So getting into it, Denihilist is 5 guys from Dayton, Ohio who love to play heavy music and connect with their fans up close and personal at shows. Great bio. Just that's like the most Ohio bio I've ever heard. And like, I'm super here for it. I fucking love it. I would love to see these boys tear it up in person.
Absolutely.
That is going to be a great show anytime you see Denihilist. So they are killing it. It will, baby. This shit's fucking awesome. The track is about the actions and consequences of betraying someone who trusts you and having to deal with the fallout of those actions. And like, you can hear that in the track. Like, it's pissed. Like, it's fucking pissed. And like, listening to it and reading the little blurb that they gave us, like, I felt like they were talking to me. And I was like, I don't even know what I did, but like, I feel like I'm there and you're yelling at me for fucking up. and honestly, that's great, because like, that really brings it back to like getting up close and personal with their fans. Like, I feel like I'm there and I didn't even do anything wrong. So fuck yeah. I can't reiterate enough how much this song is going to fuck live, dude. So let's get into the track. You have a lot of really sick notes, and I can't wait to get into them.
Hell yeah, dude. It starts off with this ominous intro with an audio clip playing. I can't quite make out everything that they're saying, but they're talking about like God and stuff. It's kind of like an interaction almost, or like this person's talking to another person, like you said. And then, dude, a riff comes over top to great effect. It just adds an ominous tone to the track. And then boom, dude, the fucking vocals, man, when they hit, he screams "Parasite, such a bitch, skin deep." That's part of it. There's more to it, but like, it really brings you in. You're like, oh shit. It's like the oh shit moment. I thought listening to the vocalist, his voice is kind of in the range of Frankie for me, but I also thought of Structures Divided By, forget his name, whoever's like the harsh screamer guy. I think there was a couple, maybe they had 2 vocalists, so it's kind of like screwing with my mind on who it was. But if you listen to that album, you can kind of see the comparison a little bit. But I am here for that. I hate doing comparisons because it's like I'm my own person, but that's what it reminded me of. But I love it. You wrote down Jake from Reflections. That does come to mind as well. It's just like a good tone. It's like a good deep tone to his voice, and I'm like all in at that point. Around 1 minute, the song starts to shift, and I love it because the vocalist goes even deeper into like lows with layered vocals added. Fuck yeah. There's a disgusting blah around like 117 with a mini breakdown to follow. The song is just getting started though. Shifts again around 140, and then there's a moment I really love. I believe he shouts "suffer" around like 2 minutes. That gives me chills. I can't make out all the lyrics just from a listen. I didn't look them up, but I'm here for it. Like you said, very personal. It does feel like he's talking to you, and you're like, "Fuck, what did I do?" There's a buildup around 240 that gets me hyped, dude. You just know a good moment's coming, and then the song explodes around 250 with a great call out. He says something with "motherfucker," and you're just like, "Let's go." If you're not moshing at this point, like, get the fuck out of the pit. That's all I have to say. He does a hold on his scream around like 320 and then also 330, which is a highlight. I love it. I love that he's kind of mixing it up. I want to smash through the walls like the Kool-Aid man during that point, dude.
Fucking A right.
And then like after you get all that energy out, dude, they hit you with like this cool, like chilling hip hop outro, if you will. There's like police sirens, tires screeching. And what's cool is that they have other songs. I'm going to give a shout out to these songs, Sin Eater and then Death Letter. They're newer songs that utilize somewhat of a similar type outro, which I'm here for. I wonder if maybe that's a theme for like an EP or album that they're coming out with. of like after the end of each song, you're going to get sort of this interlude. Instead of wasting a whole track as an interlude, it's like just tacked on at the end, which leads into the other song, which I actually think is kind of genius. I love it, dude. And it builds this theme that maybe they're creating. But I was, from the first listen, I knew. I was like, I texted Arie, I was like, permission to reach out to this band. And he gave an instant thumbs up. We love what you're doing. Shout out to Dayton, Ohio, where y'all are from. It's not far from Erie,
no,
PA, where we're from. So we love it. Arie, any thoughts about the track yourself? I know I was a little long-winded with the notes, but what did you think of this, man?
Yeah, dude, I'm really just going to echo everything that you had just mentioned. I do want to like bring up, like you talk about the intros and the outros and stuff like that, and just the sheer, I know you mentioned this, like just the Tough as Nails music, the vocals, everything. For whatever reason, the images that I get while listening to the song and knowing a little bit more about it are images like from The Crow. Like, I feel like it's just like this really like desolate, rainy, dirty back alley type of like Eric Draven is here for revenge because he's been wronged. And it's just like real gritty. I don't know why that image stuck with me, but like every time I listen to it, because it loops super well.
Yes.
And we've talked about this before. What we tend to do is just have the song on a constant loop for sometimes like an hour. Like, and that sounds like an exaggeration. I'm often doing that
during a commute too. So it's in my car on loop and I love it.
And when we can do that and just say like not get sick of it after that log, like that's really saying something. Mm-hmm. So kudos, boys. You're fucking killing it. It's heavy as all fuck. A lot of fun. And it is just, yeah, I can't, again, emphasize enough, like, this is going to fuck so hard live. And like Todd said, if you're not willing to be in the pit, get the fuck out.
Fuck out, yo.
No way. And I guess the last note, like you talk about, like the 240, 250 mark, that's my favorite part of the whole song. It's just, it goes so hard. And like you said, anytime you hear like motherfucker within a call out, you know something's there.
He kind of like twists it at the end,
yeah,
if you will. And I love little nuances like that. So kudos to you for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool production effects that are going on in the track, let alone the musicianship and just the sheer amount of time. I know I talked about the vocals too much,
but the fucking instruments, man, just crushing.
Yeah, and I love the tone, like the guitar tone especially.
Yes.
Like that really like draws me into it. It's just nice. It's chunky as fuck, dude. Oh, I love it. Like good blend. Like you got a lot of like genty moments, but just like the sheer like the beat down. There's like a 2-step part in there too. Oh, great. Love it. As far as the song goes, that's what we got. We always like to ask the bands what they're into as far as beers and beverages in general, because, you know, we want to accommodate everyone. But they said, unfortunately, none of us are really beer drinkers outside of a normal beer. Totally cool.
Absolutely.
But they did want to give a shout out to Warped Wing, which is a local brewery that's pretty awesome. That's sick. I've never heard of Warped Wing, but I love how that sounds. Mm-hmm. And I really want to check it out now. And especially because, like Todd said, Dayton isn't far from, well, where I currently am. It's far for you. But whenever you get back into town, maybe we'll go, check it out, because that sounds sick.
Maybe we'll do a meetup with the guys. That'd be cool.
Hell yeah. If you're playing a show, we'll go see you. We'll go grab a beer too. That'd be fucking sick.
Will we survive the pit? I don't know. I'm in my 30s, so I don't.
Probably not, but that's all right. You know, if I was going to go out, I would like to go out in the pit, doing what I love. Yeah. So let's, I don't want to make it happen because, I want to be around for a while, but if it were to happen, that'd be all right. So that's the beers. We also asked the bands for our Brutalist, what other bands, the influences that they are listening to, and what you can really hear shine through with the track itself. So we love doing that, just because like it just makes sense once we hear it. So this particular case, the band Denihilist they picked the bands and we picked the tracks. And of note, when I was going through this, I went like a little bit deeper into like older stuff from all these artists because they're all ones we know and love. But sometimes we don't always go back far enough.
That's right.
Yeah. So
the cut's not too deep, so you're really going into that discography and find some gems that need polished off.
Yeah, dude, for sure. So starting off, we have the Acacia strain. I put Passing the Pencil Test. Classic. Nice. Love that song. Then we have Harm's Way with Breeding Grounds. That was just one off their first album. I know Todd's been more into Harm's Way than I have, but the song fucked when I listened to it. I can't stop saying that, so I'm going to keep saying it. Next, we have Orthodox with Panic. Love that track. Amir with I Only Mean Half of What I Don't Say.
That is a deep cut, bro.
Dude, that song's so good. And I have such a love-hate with that particular album, which I am, again, blanking on the fucking name of it.
Is it which one? Do you know, like, number-wise, which one it is?
It's the second one with Kurt Angle. The Respect Issue.
That's
the Respect Issue. I go back and forth with where that one stands in the discography, but that song's fucking sick. And Amir's back and they're touring now with We Came as Romans and Body Snatcher, who is next on the list. I picked Abandonment. That's off their first one. Really can't go wrong with anything from Body Snatcher. Then we have Knocked Loose with All My Friends, another banger. Impending Doom, band haven't listened to in quite some time. Serpent Servant is what I went with because that song is so fucking good.
Yeah, God, I listened to that one.
I didn't see their very first. I didn't see Nail Dead Risen on Spotify, and it was really fucking sad. Like that whole album is just not there.
What if that's a label thing? Yeah, who knows?
It definitely is. Yeah. Then we have Kubla Khan with Icon, Mugshot. We're going with Good People featuring Peter Rono of Keonashi. That was a track that we were very fortunate to feature a couple of years ago when the last Mugshot EP came out. Great track.
Yes.
Then finally we have Jesus Piece with Curse of the Serpent, which is one of my personal favorites from them, and that was the one that got me into the band in general. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's the list.
That's the list.
That'll be on Spotify as well. It's called Brutalist, so check that out. Check out the band though. That's what we want you to do first and foremost. Denihilist, again, Ill Will. The cover art's got this cool D. Very cool stylization there, with like blues and black. It kind of syncs up to what you'll see on Spotify that plays while the song's going. But go check them out on social media. We reached out through Instagram. That's where we reside mostly. Just look up their band name. It's a very unique band name. I love the play on words that it does too.
It's nice.
I'm assuming they have a Facebook, so go check them out on there. My bad for not looking that up, but start at Instagram, and I'm sure you'll find everything else you need to find for them. Go follow them. That is what we want. Go follow them. Give them some love. Go stream their shit. Go buy their shit.
Yes.
Go to their shows. Hell yeah. Buy their merch. It's sick. Guys, what more can we say? Go listen to the fucking track.